The wait is finally over, boys. I know I said I was gonna do this a long time ago, and the day has finally come. We pulled the old Cummins out of the Dodge. We don't need that thing anymore. I'd like to introduce you guys to the world's first Ram 2500 with VTEC. That's right, we K-swapped her, boys. Turbo and all. Ready to make half the amount of torque that it originally did stock. And it probably won't even move. But she's in there, ready to go, ready for two-step, ready to run a 20-second quarter mile, and probably blow up trying to get this thing out of its own way. Today's video is brought to you by PDS Debt. Us car guys love to spend a lot of money on our vehicles, and getting into credit card debt can be very easy. Getting out, well, the system's designed so we don't. If you're struggling with credit cards, personal loans, collections, or medical bills, then you need to check out PDS Debt. When I first made the big move out here to Florida, it put me into a lot of debt at the time, and it would have been really helpful to have a service like PDS Debt to consolidate all of my debts into one low monthly payment. If you're making payments towards your debt every month and your balances are just not going down, then this is the solution for you. PDS Debt strives to understand your specific scenario and can help provide alternative solutions to help you become debt-free. Anyone with $10,000 or more in eligible debt qualifies, and there is no minimum credit score. Bad or fair credit are accepted. Stop waiting and start saving. You can get a free debt analysis right now at pdsdebt.com/boosted. It only takes 30 seconds to do. Sign up, get that free debt analysis, pdsdebt.com/boosted. Thank you to PDS Debt for sponsoring today's video. All right, boys, we are getting close. The Cummins is off of the engine stand because it's about to get even heavier than it already is, and we don't think our poor little Harbor Freight stand's gonna hang on any longer.
Old girl's on her last leg already, so definitely didn't want this thing falling off of it.
Yeah, it was already sketchy enough, but it's safely off the stand. The bottom end is completely assembled, ready to go, and pretty much none of this came out of the truck originally. The only thing that is originally out of my truck was this motor backing plate right here and the SFI billet flex plate that me and Wyatt installed years ago when I was having flex plate issues, but everything else is new to us, correct?
Yeah, I mean, like, you know, like this oil pedestal deal. This,
okay, yeah, some of the accessories.
Some little things, but most of it is from that short block that we picked up from that guy up north.
Pretty much all new stuff to us for this Cummins build, top to bottom end. And now that this thing is off of the engine stand, we're ready to get the head put on this thing. And we even went above and beyond on the head as well.
So I've worked with a bunch of great companies over the years running my own diesel shop, so I reached out to one of them that I have had great luck with in the past, and that is Fleece Performance Engineering.
Yeah, look at that big old banner we got.
Yep, they were my first guys to reach out to because I ran their stuff in the past, had great luck with it, and they got us set up with a ton of stuff. But what we're going to show you first is one of their cylinder heads. This is their street setup. It is way better than a factory 6.7 head. A lot of the 6.7s actually had problems with dropping valve seats, sometimes failing head gaskets, and they just had a lot of little issues. So this Street Series head from Fleece and their division of Freedom Racing Engines is completely gone through. Everything, all those little issues have been addressed. Much better setup. So if you guys are doing a cylinder head or head gasket job on a 6.7, really you should just pick up one of these and be done, not waste any money on those older heads. They're also notorious for cracking. So all that stuff got addressed with this new unit here.
So basically you're saying we're building a race truck right now.
It pretty much could be a race truck if we wanted to slap a big turbo on it and some injectors. Really, this does actually have a ton of great components in it that we could make like almost 1,000 horsepower on this setup.
Dude, and I see some ARP head studs, torque that puppy down.
These are even the big baller ones, some custom age 625 head studs. Things are like $1,600. It's ridiculous. Welcome to the diesel world. You can build a whole Honda motor for what this head and head studs cost, but for the diesel stuff, this is really about as good as it gets. So really interested to get that thing out of there, see what it looks like.
Yeah, I guess let's bust this head out because we're ready to get this sucker assembled and back in the truck. She's been down for too long, boys. This is one fancy shipping box too.
Wow!
Packaging.
So we got a head gasket there.
Oh, a koozie. Dibs.
Dibs. Add it to the collection, brother. We have a great collection of koozies.
Koozies and stickers.
It's really the only reason you buy any product is for the stickers and koozies, so.
Yep, when you get your cool race car parts, but you really only care about the sticker.
It's the golden ticket meme, the kid in the background.
Yeah. All right, I think there's a two-person job, right?
Yeah,
You just want to
she's
lift
a
her
little
out?
heavy, yeah.
Where are we going? You want to go on the table and
Let's
not
go
on the
over
ground?
here. I think it's going to collapse that poor thing.
Okay. Fair enough.
Holy Jesus.
I'm ready when you are.
Yep, sure. Got
You
it?
good?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm good.
All right.
Oh. This weighs as much as a K20.
Pretty much.
Hold on, my fingers are in the danger zone. All right, we're good.
I want to set it up on here. Not on that surface. Ooh. What a beaut. That thing is fresh.
So what's special about this one?
So these heads come completely ready to install from Fleece. The biggest thing with these, like I said, is the 6.7 is really common for dropping valve seats. If you over rev them, or even on a stock configuration, they have a problem with dropping the seats out, and it's because the interference fit on them is not very tight from the factory. So Fleece comes in, uses a different seat, and makes the interference fit a lot tighter, and then comes back, does a really nice valve job on them to finish them out, and it alleviates a bunch of those issues with those dropping. And then another thing is these are really common for cracking. So Fleece will go through any head that they're doing. They'll go through, make sure it's all good to go before they do any work to it, so that you know you're getting a great product ready to go on your truck. All right, what a beauty. So another thing too with these heads is it comes with brand new valves, springs and retainers, and also comes with screw-in coolant freeze plugs, because the 6.7, another common issue with them is that these will leak internally. It'll push a freeze plug out. Now you're pushing coolant into the oil system on these trucks. So threaded in coolant freeze plugs just eliminates all of the common issues on these cylinder heads. Just really nice unit.
Can we peel this guy off right here?
Yep.
Nice and clean.
Big fancy, dude. So yeah, super nice unit from them. Huge shout out to Fleece for getting us set up with this and other stuff we'll show you guys here shortly. But I'm ready to get this thing on there.
Yeah.
Ready?
Time for some head.
New head gasket going on.
Dang, that's looking fresh. Even has the Fleece logo on the gasket.
Big fancy, dude. Nice new unit. Ready to set that beautiful head on now. And just look down through the cylinder, or through the holes to line up the dowels. Okay, don't move it there yet.
It's heavy.
That should be it.
Could you technically run one of these with no manifolds? Since it's all injector controlled. You just leave the head open on both sides.
It would run just fine. You can literally run it just like this, no exhaust, no intake. As long as you had the injectors and fuel and all that.
Diesels are pretty wild. No throttle body.
All based on fuel injection, no air restriction.
All right, guys, we have ourselves a long block. Whit just got the head torqued down. What'd those puppies torque to?
I went down to 150 foot-pounds. That's some big dog numbers.
There's
right
a
there.
lot of them. There's like, how many? That's a ton.
26 head studs.
26 ARP head studs.
Really wrenching on your arms.
Got your
by the
workout
time
in
you
for
get
the
done.
day.
Especially because I'll go back and torque them all a second time. So, you know, 150 foot-pounds, 52 times. It's a great workout.
So we got the long block assembled, but we got even more components from Fleece, and I gotta tell you guys, Fleece really went overboard. We have so much to show you guys. Let me get all this crap out of the way though. We have 14 freaking koozies included with the order. Big pack of stickers. I mean, what more could you ask for?
Again, big shout out to Fleece. They hooked us up with a ton of stuff to get this motor dialed in, fresh, upgraded, tons of great things. So over here on the table, we have a ton of products from them, including a drop-in turbo, fuel filter delete, a couple of coolant line upgrades, an injector line set, a bunch of goodies from them. So they really came through, got us all the parts to make this thing super reliable and clean up the engine bay on this Cummins project.
Let's open some of these things up, dude. I've actually never been so excited for
a stock turbo,
yeah,
upgraded
like
turbo.
A not fully built to the brim engine, you know.
Right.
It's pretty exciting just having this thing.
Just nice
stock,
bolt-on
but legit.
OE plus parts.
Take a look at this turbs. Oh, she is heavy. It's just as heavy as a performance turbo. What do you think they packed in with the turbo? I think they're just...
There better be a koozie in there. I told them we like koozies, but dude, they might have just been messing with us.
We got another koozie and another sticker. There's something heavy in there. There's like a fridge magnet or something. That'd be sick. We could add it to the Cybertruck. Oh, it's just the gasket. I was really hoping for a fridge magnet.
So yeah, this is their updated turbo. This is the Fleece Cheetah for your 6.7 Cummins trucks. It's a little bit bigger turbine wheel, billet compressor wheel, and new electronics, and just a really solid product for these things. A lot of the times these actuators on the side will actually jam up and get kind of stuck on stock turbos, so we just went ahead, got us a fresh unit. One less thing to worry about with this truck going down the road, especially since it's going to be a tow rig.
Yeah, our turbo was a little shot.
Yeah.
She was on her way out.
Definitely.
Lots of shaft play. This one's fresh, ready to go. They got the Fleece logo on the fins.
Yeah, super nice product.
That is nice. It's actually pretty wild how small the exducer is right there.
Yeah, it's actually crazy
this engine is.
how small these turbos are for these trucks. I mean, I think factory, don't quote me, but I think it's like around a 60mm compressor. So super small, but really efficient for the rev range that these things operate in.
That's why they're basically spooling it idle.
Yeah, pretty much. You can have that thing chooched up, sounding like a jet idling. So pretty crazy.
Then real quick, just a couple other small things to go through. What do we got here? Turbo, drain tube.
Yep, so the factory drain tube is like a steel piece, real pain in the butt to get to work right, and they leak. So nice upgraded unit.
Dude, that drain tube was part of the block when we tried to get it apart. I saw Wyatt in there with the slide hammer. That thing did not want to come out.
Seized up in that thing. So yeah, super nice piece from them. Just a great upgrade if you're going to be in there doing a turbo. And then this is a new feed line. So the factory feed line is just a crimped stainless piece. This one, heat abrasion or heat protection on it. Just a really nice upgraded piece. Super clean.
I got a fuel filter delete.
Yep, so we won't need the factory fuel filter. It's on the side of the block. They're ugly, pain in the butt to change. So we're going to delete it, and we're going to be putting a lift pump on the truck later on. So don't need it. Don't need it, delete it, baby. Here we've got their coolant bypass kit. So a lot of the problems, again, with the 6.7 or even any Cummins motor is these rear cylinders get really hot. So what this kit does is reroutes coolant, it lets it come back to the back of the engine, and then restarts it back to the cooling system, help cool down those rear cylinders, keep them a lot happier while you're towing.
Heater core replacement hose.
Yep.
Nothing special in this one.
Factory piece, cracks out, it's a plastic coupling, junk. So delete it, upgrade it. And then this last box here is a new set of fuel injection lines. The factory ones are pretty common for cracking with vibration, so just a nice upgraded set of those. And just fresh, since this whole engine's fresh, might as well dress it up with some fresh parts.
Huge shout out to Fleece for coming on board and helping us get this thing freaking dialed. I guess let's start getting this stuff put on, get this thing back in the truck.
Yep, let's do it.
Man, guys, this Cummins looking cleaner than the day I freaking bought the truck. It looks brand new. Got the valve cover on there. Wyatt got the rest of the top end put together. And we also got that coolant bypass on there, and that looks freaking sweet. And now we're ready to get the turbo and manifold on there, and then just the other little accessories before it actually goes back into the truck. And we do actually have a component right here from our friends over at BD Diesel as well. So they supplied us a couple things for the Cummins rebuild. And in this box right here, we have ourselves a new manifold for this thing. Check that out. Our old one was pretty gross. This thing is EGR compliant. It bolts right on. Comes with all the hardware you need, gaskets, everything ready to go.
I was waiting for you to do that.
Why didn't you warn me about that, Wyatt?
Brother.
Okay, apparently it's a two-piece.
Two-piece design, so that, you know, how much heat they make. They can
Idiot.
move. Brother.
Sorry.
It's all good. I think you hurt the floor, not the manifold.
Yeah, no, we definitely took a chunk out of the floor. The manifold is fine.
You know, that's a snug fit, and, you know, it's actually really hard to get it apart and together. I'm surprised you accomplished that so easily.
I'm just good at messing stuff up. It doesn't go back together.
It's a very, very precise fit. So just like that.
All right. Anyways, yeah, EGR compliant, bolts right in, comes with all the gaskets you need, and yeah, nice solid upgrade for the truck.
Yep.
And we'll go ahead and get that bolted on there.
If we wanted to put an EGT port in it too, or EGT pyro, it's already tapped and drilled for those, so you don't have to do that later on. I know a lot of guys towing with them, putting EGT probes in them, so that's a big benefit, already done for you.
Yeah, so shout out to BD Diesel for the manifold. Let's go ahead and get this Terpski on there. All I know is that was about 2 inches away from being a broken toe. New turbo is on, looking good with the fresh manifold.
Yeah, dude, it's all coming together pretty nice.
You said that turbo is a little upgraded, right?
Yeah, so the factory turbo, like I said, don't quote me, is like 60 millimeter, 59, somewhere in there. This one's actually a 63 millimeter with a billet compressor wheel and some other mods that they do to those. So really nice unit. What's cool about that is that turbo will actually support about 700 horsepower. And with the fuel upgrades we're gonna do to this, you could potentially push this motor to about 700 horsepower as it sits. So it'd be a really solid, solid unit. You can tow with it, go hot rod it around, drive it, have fun with it. Should be pretty solid.
Hell yeah.
So looking really good though.
Now back to the other side of the engine, we have one more thing from BD Diesel here, and that is this guy right here. So this is the nut everyone's been warning us about, right?
Yep, so we talked about it in the very first video. These have a problem with this nut falling off and going through your engine. So it's funny, the guys at BD actually saw the video and reached out and they're like, well, we have a kit for that. Let's send it to you guys. So here it is, and this is their upgraded deal that actually bolts from the top. So this guy goes in here like this and bolts in there, so it eliminates.
Oh, I see, so it gets rid of the nut completely.
Yep, eliminates the nut, so it gets threaded from the top side, so it has absolutely no potential of that falling down in there. And just a little bit more solid upgrade. So it does retain our grid heater, so if we ever take this back to Colorado or whatever and it's cold, help it cold start with the grid heater still intact. So definitely a good upgrade though, just getting rid of that one more point of failure that we don't need on this engine.
You know, we could get the Cybertruck, but the old John Deere has it. She's ready. Let her eat, baby! Woo! Hey, put it in neutral. It should be in neutral. Put it in neutral. Okay. Is it? It's in neutral. Come watch the torque converter. That's park. Neutral's just one down, right? Huh? One down from park, right? Yeah. Did you put it back in park? Yeah. Yeah, you shouldn't have done that. Why'd you tell me to mess with it? I was asking if it was a neutral. It's spinning the torque converter. How else was I going to check? Ay, ay, ay. Probably should have put his hood down. Oh well. Do a little running start here. Go, go, go. Oh! Oh! Mine almost fell off the back of the John Deere. Come on. Alright, this is the one. Ready? I'm ready. Give that John Deere all she has. Oh yeah, come on, baby. We're good, we're good. Thread the needle. Easy. That'll do. Some slight repositioning.
Yeah, perfect. Super uneventful.
I'd rather hit that than a knock. Oh! John Deere gave us a
Deere's
backfire.
pissed, dude. It's not having it at all.
We got it from here. You're going back in the shed. So I just got the grid heater upgrade kit installed from BD Diesel. You can see we no longer have that nut on the bottom side right there that can sometimes fall off. I guess it was really common problem on these, like what I was saying earlier. I actually never understood how these worked until I just got this guy installed, but it actually sends power to this guy right here to heat up those fins there, and the amperage that goes through it over time is what can deteriorate this nut and bolt that was right there, and that's why it can kind of fall apart and trash the engine, which is not good. So we got that guy upgraded and installed so we can get this onto the engine and we'll be good to go. Well guys, we are getting really close to getting the Cummins back into the truck. I've been working on the wiring harness for about the last hour. This thing was absolutely disgusting. I've washed my hands several times and I still can't get all the black stuff off my hands. This thing was a real work of art, I'll tell you what. So I had to go through and clean it up a lot. A lot of the electrical tape and stuff was falling apart. It was completely grimy. All the connectors were just covered in crap. So I gave this thing a good scrub. I've been sitting down, wiping it all off, drying everything out, and I've been re-electrical taping any loose ends that need it, but she's looking a lot cleaner now. I also got the ECU pulled back out. We are gonna go ahead and bolt that back up to the engine, lay the harness back on there, and then we'll have just about everything we need on here to get it back into the truck. And I also have to pull the K-series out of this thing because unfortunately we're not K-swapping the Cummins, so that needs to come out. I'm going to push it back out and power wash this engine bay out, and then the engine can go back in. We are waiting on some fuel system components to come in. We are waiting for the injectors to come back, new CP3 pump, some things like that. But we have everything that we need on the engine here to at least get it into the truck, because everything else we need to put on we can get to with it in the engine bay. So I want to go ahead and get it on there. We got all the stuff on the back here. This is the stuff we wanted to make sure we had on there before it goes in, because like this fuel fitting and the coolant relocator delete kit is hard to install with the engine inside of there. But we got it pretty dressed up here and we are ready to stick it in. Wyatt actually had to get out of here a little bit earlier because he has a race coming up this weekend with his diesel truck. I had some things going on this weekend, so unfortunately I'm not going out with him, but wishing him luck. I'm sure we'll get you guys some updates with how his truck does at this race event he is going to, and I was going to try to at least get this Cummins hung up into the truck before we head into the weekend. That was my goal. So we are just about ready to do it. I'm gonna go ahead and get all this stuff done and we can try to stab it back into the truck. All right, guys, we're just about ready to get the Cummins back into the OG tow rig over there, and just look how beautiful this thing came out. It is so clean now, everything gone through, and I'm honestly really excited to see this rig back up and running. We got the engine hoist all hooked up here. She's on the 1/4 ton setting. I'd have to guess that that's probably a little over a 1/4 ton. This thing was making some creaks just as it's sitting here, so we're definitely going to be pushing the limits of the Harbor Freight engine hoist, but we need it on that setting to get it as far back and in there as we can to get over that cross member right there. So without further ado, let's go ahead and stab this Cummins back into the truck. Shoo-wee, boys, we got the Cummins back in the tow rig here. Check that out. She is just sitting on the motor mounts right now, so it's a little loose. Still have to bolt it up to the transmission and all that good stuff, but that is where we are calling it for tonight. I'm just so happy to see that thing back in the truck. I mean, whether it's freaking electric, diesel, the boosted / battery, boys, there is no job too hard for us to handle. We're getting it done, but we still have a ton to do on this thing. Get all the accessories on there. Like I said, get it bolted up to the trans converter. Still a lot of work to do. There's some other lines that we gotta get figured out with the fuel and transmission. We redid a couple things there just to clean this thing up. But hopefully in the next video, this thing will be running for the first time. We'll get to start it up and go from there, boys. And I also want to give a huge shout out once again to Fleece, Industrial Injection, and BD Diesel for all the components and helping us get this thing back up and running with fresh components. And I mean, we just completely went through this thing top to bottom. She's going to be dialed, and I'm excited to see this rig back up and operational. But that's going to do it for this video. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you later. She's officially case swapped. Check that thing out.